This week on the Modified World, we're doing coin slot modifications, recutting conches, the whole nine, and taking the show in a slightly different direction. So stay tuned. Welcome to the Modified World. It's the weekly web show, well, somewhat weekly, about body modification, the people who do it, the people who get it, why it matters. Okay, I'm your host. I'm the senior piercer at the world-renowned Pangea Piercing, purveyor of internet wackiness. I'm JC Potts. Well, this week, had our friend Chase Campbell stop by, body modification artist extraordinaire, globe trotter, nice guy to boot too, really super friendly person. Well, so if you recall, and you've been watching the show a while, you saw that Mr. Josh Campbell got his conches surgically cut out to a large size last year, but they weren't as big as he wanted. So, pretty simple solution. Mr. Campbell came back, the other Mr. Campbell came by and fixed that up. And then, at the same time, did what they call the coin slot modification. You'll see some guys that, you know, have the little slot up here in the ear with a whole big stack of jewelry in there. It's kind of a popular thing nowadays. And so, you know, well, that's done kind of like if you had the big holes in the conches. It's not too tough. They make a little surgical incision, remove a little bit. It's just instead of being a perfectly round circle, it's a bit of an oblong thing. Takes a few weeks to heal, take the stitches out. Generally pretty solid. Generally pretty solid. Now, of course, with any of these types of things, some regrowth is possible. It happens, but, you know, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Pay to play, I guess. You know, it's always an adventure, you know. Kind of building a better body like that is sometimes like, well, I mean, it doesn't really matter whether you're doing it through surgery or hormones or bodybuilding or dieting or whatever, you know, it doesn't really matter. It can be kind of a journey, you know. But I understand it. You know, the underlying motivation behind it is kind of important because, you know, we have such a short time here. And I think it's worthwhile for you to feel comfortable in your own skin. And with that, you notice at the beginning I said something about maybe taking the show in a slightly different direction. We've always been about modification. Body modification generally, but really the more important thing is the modifying your life. You know, I want people to be autonomous, self-directing, fulfilled people. And part of the reason why I've been a little more sporadic about uploading videos lately is because, well, to be honest with you, it's kind of hard to keep forward motivation when all you're doing is trying to help people, you know, superficially change the outside. I want to help change the soul. So, with that in mind, I'm going to be putting forth more and more stuff about, I don't know, philosophy and kind of how the world seems to operate, at least as best as I can tell. I'm hoping to help a lot of younger folks, you know, maybe avoid a lot of the pitfalls that I fell into to make life a lot easier for you long term, you know, because really that's what it's about. You know, I want people to be happy, and happy is a hard thing to come by, and I'm a pretty happy person for the most part, and I can help a lot of other folks to be happy as well. And so, well, that's kind of what we're going to do. Of course, we're still going to be talking about piercings and modifications and all that good stuff, but we're going to be getting a little more, I don't know, philosophy involved, you know, bigger picture stuff, because it's important. That's my show this week. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. Let me know about some things that you might be interested in knowing about, I don't know, how the world works or how I got to be so successful or any of that type of stuff, because it all ties in. If you don't understand how the world works, it's pretty tough to be successful. So, you know, with that in mind, go ahead and ask away. It's a little nerve-wracking to be putting yourself out there, because let me tell you, anytime that you genuinely try to help people, you'll find that you get a lot of resistance from those that would seek to disenfranchise or, you know, take advantage of or any of that type of stuff. I'm not that guy, man. I just want to try to help. Maybe I'm a little more ideologically motivated than your average person. But hey, like I said, stop back by next week for yet another episode of The Modified World.